We Are So Not Straight would like to acknowledge that the recording of this podcast takes place on the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. Welcome to We Are So Not Straight,
the podcast where two drag sisters talk about everything curvy, swervy, and crooked.
We are your hosts, Michaela
and DJ.
And we are so happy you're tuning in.
Okay, last time it sounded perfect on my side. It came out so disjointed in the final edit. So
yeah, it didn't sound good on this side this time again. But not last time, but the time before that, you said it sounded good, and it did. So I don't know. Honestly, y'all, you have to understand that we try our best to get it on time, but we're just not there yet.
It's not. The brain cells are not rubbing together.
It's a delay. The fact that we are on screen together, it is a whole delay thing, and that is why it is never continent. Together. Yeah, exactly. So did you just say a whole continent? DJ, we're not continents apart.
We're the same continent.
Wow, y'all. Yeah, we're a little bit of a mess. I'm not cutting it. I'm not cutting the cameras. We're a little bit of a mess, but that's what keeps you coming back, and that's why you love us.
Apparently, Canada is not a part of Okay, anyways, we are so excited to be back with another episode. We have some really fun things in store.
But before we get into that, we just want to clarify a couple of things.
First off, we are not here to judge anyone on their art.
Art is subjective, and all forms of art are valid.
Second of all of these opinions are oh, that's your line. Wait.
It is.
Where did we go wrong?
I don't know.
Where did I go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
You guys know the brief. So the first thing, we're gonna start making this a tradition now that season 15 has started. We have updates on our Drag Race fantasy draft.
Draft.
You remember the sound effect. Okay,
hello.
So I'm gonna give you guys like a good 5 seconds because I'm just gonna announce who went home just so we can like take them off and there's like no confusion. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We unfortunately lost Princess Poppy last week, who was Joey's main queen. So him and I have both lost queens. I shouldn't have lost Irene. I'm so sorry. I'm so mad about that. Anyway, which score are we reading off?
We did the draft score first, wasn't that what it was called? And then we did who was in first all the way to who was in last.
Okay. So, the draft score for the remaining queens, Sasha Colby has 9, Anitra has 13, Lux has 8, Marsha has 10, Jax has 7, Spice has 8, Aura is an alternate, Malaysia Baby Doll Fox has 5, Mistress Isabel Brooks has 2, and then Robin is an alternate, Selena is an alternate, Sugar has 7, Lucy has 7, and Amethyst has 2.
Poor Amethyst.
All of my queens have the lowest score. This is rigged. Listen, this is rigged.
Honestly, we let a wheel decide who was picking first, so...
the wheel is homophobic.
Yeah, okay.
So are
all
you.
The gay people. I was about to say, so are you. Whatever. Anyways,
the draft
who's in
total.
First right now, and who is in last?
Okay, well, Team Minx is in the lead with 29. Team Treble is behind. I'm sorry, I love Team Treble. Team Treble is behind in 25, and then Joey and I tied again at 12.
They only went up 2 points each. It's very sad.
We're struggling. We are in the goddamn trenches right now, like clawing for our life in this. Oh my god.
I'm staying in there. I am in second right now. She is doing well. She is getting there, and as long as Minx doesn't have a good week this week, then
Please let Anitra go home. Just please.
Oh, don't say that. That's not nice.
No, because Anitra is like the front runner. Because I wouldn't send Sasha home because she's my winner. She's just not on my team. But like Anitra, yeah.
Be careful what you say here, sir.
The fans can drag me on Twitter, whatever. You better walk that fucking duck. You better walk your ass off a short pier, okay?
All I'm gonna say is that I would like Nathaniel to take a blow to his team because I would be in first then. So
keep in mind, Jax only has 7, so losing her isn't like a big thing. So like,
yeah, but it means that he loses points from things. So
Anitra has to go.
At this point, due to scoring, Anitra would have to go, yes. But
yeah.
I actually really like Anitra, so I don't want her to go.
I'm sorry, everyone's thinking she invented voguing, and I'm like, Duckwalk has been around for years.
I thought her talent was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was a cool talent, but everyone was like, yes, Anitra, queen of Duckwalk, and I was like, girl, go to a ball, please.
Ball culture.
Anyway,
so that is the update on our draft picks for RuPaul's Drag Race season 15. So I hope all y'all are enjoying that. If you did a draft this season,
tag us.
If you're watching it on YouTube right now, comment down below how you're doing in your draft picks. And if not, tag us on Instagram with your stuff. Like, we love to see things that we talk about on the podcast with other people. So, like, please tag us. We would love to see it.
Which is kind of a segue into our next segment, because a lot of people can relate to it.
Yes, that actually kind of goes into a little bit about what we're going to talk about, because we are starting a new segment on the podcast this week. I know we've been starting so many new segments. Like we said before, please just leave a comment down below if you have any of the segments that you really liked that you want to hear again, or you have any suggestions for segments. Please leave them down below. We would love to see them.
And I'm great at looking down below, so.
Yeah, we're really good at that, apparently. Nice, DJ. Thank you. Anyways, going back to what I was... Please hold while DJ laughs his head off. Are you done yet?
Funny.
You're not funny.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, you're done? Thank you. All right. Anyways, like I said before, we are starting a new segment, and this segment is called Confessions of a Pissed Off Customer Service Representative.
For our credentials, Michaela, do you want to say yours?
I was about to say, for our credentials, I have worked in customer service since I was like a young teenager. So I have seen my share of, I have my share of stories from my time at customer service. So I got lots to share. And DJ, what are your credentials?
4.5 as a manager. So.
All right. So for my
4 years,
story,
I'm not getting back.
I was going to say 4 years that you worked your ass off. Good for you. But today I'm going to tell you what happened to me, because just you wait. This is going to be a fun one.
Okay, I haven't heard this yet, because normally when tea arises, Michaela texts me in all caps and like FaceTimes me. So I don't know this one yet.
All I did today was I texted DJ and I said I have a brilliant idea for our podcast because I need to get this off my chest because something happened at work today and I must tell you what's happening. So here is story time with Michaela. Here we go. So today I was working at my job as a customer service representative. There was a gentleman who came up and he wanted to get 3 gift cards for Chinese New Year. Okay? This is key to the story. He wanted them for Chinese New Year. So he asked me for 2 gift cards that were for like $20 and then 1 for $50. Don't ask me why one is more than the other.
I get more than the rest of the cousins.
I don't get it. I don't understand it, but that's what he wanted. So that's what I did. Then he told me to make sure that they were separate so that he knew which one was the 50s and which one were the 220s. And I said, oh yeah, sure, no problem. But if they do get mixed up, and I showed him the receipt and I showed him like the numbers, you know when you activate the cards and the numbers come up?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little like numbers come up and like show you like the last 4 numbers of the card and like how much is on it, that kind of stuff. Okay. So I do this. And he doesn't seem too happy with this, so I think he thought I was trying to like mess up his cards or something. I don't know. Don't ask me. So anyways, this happens. So he continues saying something, and there was a language barrier, so this is also key to the story. But eventually I just finally said, okay, well, it's going to be $90. And he goes, okay, and he taps his card. Then he turns to me and he goes, envelopes, do you have envelopes? Well, usually we have like little envelopes that we like put the cards in.
Yeah.
But we're out of them right now. We couldn't find them, at least not in my area that I was in. So I opened the drawer, look at it, realize there's no envelopes. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I don't have any envelopes. And I'm about to say, but I'll go look for envelopes because I figured maybe one of the other tills had it. So I said, and as I said this, he lost it. Full on screaming at me, losing his absolute mind, saying that I am not helping him, that I am, what did he say? It was like something like, he said, you make me angry. And he just kept screaming that over and over and over again at me. So I took a step back. We ended up calling my management over. And basically, we have this thing. I'm not going to say the code because obviously that'll give everything away. But there's a code that they say when management needs to drop everything and come to you because there's an emergency situation. And I had to use it today because this guy would not stop yelling in my face about the fact that I was making him angry and not helping him the entire time. So he did that and yelled at me the entire time. So my management came over. Now, another thing that is important to realize, both of my senior members of management are male and middle-aged gentlemen, okay? This is key. Well, as soon as my one manager comes over and starts dealing with the situation, the guy calmed down immediately. And they dealt with the whole situation and whatever. And my manager came over to me, and bless his heart, he is a lovely person. But he came over to me and he said, well, I didn't have any problems with him. And I said, yes, because you are not female and you are not young. Plain and simple. Unfortunately, in the customer service industry, young females get taken advantage of in the way of how people are talking to us and how we are communicated with. And a lot of the time, especially from the older population, we get treated with the most disrespect out of any person in the customer service representative area. So I wanted him to be aware that I understood that he was able to deal with the situation. I very much appreciated the fact that he stepped in and he was able to help. And both my managers were lovely and made sure I was okay and all that stuff. And I was fine. I mean, I'm used to it at this point. But they also have to realize that I am like a young female who
also,
quite often,
I think like on top of that, like the whole like idea of calling a manager, it's so stupid because you just repeat the same information that the regular person was just saying. Like they think the manager is gonna like magically help them, and I mean in some cases like they do, but it's typically like because it's like an override or something. But like most of the time the manager just repeats the same information, but like in their brain it's like, oh, this person has like more knowledge, and it's like, no. Like,
well, and quite often, I think another reason why people call managers is because they don't like the answer that the customer service representative is giving.
That's what I was trying to say. It's like, but we just repeat the same fucking information.
Okay, yes and no. there have been multiple times, not just at my current job, but at every job that I have been at, where I have said something that is in our specific policy about a return or about something like that. And I've said, I'm so sorry, but like it's past the return date. I can't take it. I can't return it. That's just how it works, kind of thing. And the person goes, well, you need to get your manager. And my manager comes over and says the complete opposite. And I've had it happen at every job that I've been at.
That's just like, I speak like generally from my experience. If that's your experience, it's your experience, and it's like completely valid. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, people are assholes sometimes, and sometimes you get the good batch, but
it's unfortunate. And you know what? I feel like I considered not doing this segment because I didn't want to get in trouble in case someone that I work with or whatever listens to the podcast, which if you do, hi. First off, thank you for listening to the podcast. And second of all,
give us a 5-star rating.
Yeah, give us a 5-star rating. Love you lots. But I think everybody needs to understand that sometimes these are stories that just kind of get put to the side and that nobody realizes actually happens to customer service representatives. I don't think people actually realize, a lot of people don't realize the crap that customer service representatives put up with. And I felt like it was necessary, especially because it was something that really bugged me, to be able to have a platform. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have that platform to be able to make people aware that this is something that happens in everyday life and in a job of a customer service representative. And also, if you're hearing this and you're someone who tries to, you know, I'm not saying
fucking employees.
I'm saying if you're someone, first of all, back up your employees. But second of all, in the case that you're someone who comes to a store and makes a really big fuss over returning something or stuff like that, please understand that customer service representatives go through a lot of crap every single day. So either be very patient with us, we're trying our best, or don't make a fuss. You know, I know that a lot of people, for $5 is a lot for a lot of people, but you have to understand that we deal with so many people in a day that if you're being angry to us, we're probably not going to be the nicest to you too. It's like that. We were saying in one of the interviews we had one time that the energy, like we feed off energy. It's the same thing with customer service representatives. We feed off your energy. So if your energy is aggressive towards us, our energy is going to become off aggressive towards you as well. So just keep that in mind, and please be kind to your customer service representatives. Thank you.
Okay. So for this next segment, this one was my idea. So there's a TikTok trend going around, and it's things that would send blank into a coma. So instead of it being like a Victorian child, I thought it would be funny if me being a New Yorker and Michaela being a Canadian moose knuckle resident.
No. No. Rethink that. Please rethink that statement.
Michaela being a Canadian citizen.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. So Michaela being from Canadian land, I thought it would be funny if we did things that would send each other into a coma. We probably should have prepared a list.
In all honesty, I think it's just going to be stuff that like would send either of us into a coma. I don't think it's going to be Canadians and New Yorkers because we didn't make a list. So
yeah, we didn't make a list, but I have ideas because I came up with things.
Okay, well, to be fair, yours is going to be things that would send you into a coma. But anyways.
Okay, so the first thing I have is a bacon, egg, and cheese with salt, pepper, ketchup from a deli in the Bronx.
I'm sorry, try that again. Bacon,
egg, and cheese with salt, pepper, ketchup on an everything bagel from the Bronx.
I feel like that would be really good, except for I don't like bacon, so it wouldn't be good for me,
But for people who know New York deli culture, y'all get it.
Okay, well, that's great. Good for you. Okay.
Anyway.
My first one, this is not for New Yorkers, this is just for DJ.
Bitch.
And And I'm sorry, Nathaniel, I'm coming for you with this.
That's not how that works. Okay.
So the first thing that would send DJ specifically into a coma is
If it's like other people's opinions or something, I'm gonna reach through the screen and slap you.
no, is watching our drag sister try to walk in heels for the first time.
For context, okay. Our drag sister Nathaniel,
Who we love very dearly.
She has never worn, like, for everyone watching on YouTube, she has never worn this type of heel before. She has only worn combat boots and platforms.
Yeah.
And anyone who's walked in this type of heel knows that they are a special kind of torture. So our drag sister got this type of heel, which is a stiletto for all of our non-audio viewers. They are 4 inches.
Did you just say our non-audio viewers? Our audio viewers
our non-video
are the ones who can't.
listeners.
There you
Listen,
go.
it's late. It's Friday. Anyway,
Losing our minds.
So this type of heel. Now, mine don't have an ankle strap or anything, so I'm playing this game on hard mode. But that's just how I like my shoes to look. His have an ankle strap, a wide ass toe box. Like, there is support everywhere, and if anyone knows anything about how horses give birth, you know the baby just kind of falls onto the ground and then it doesn't really have its legs. So it's like trying to stand, but it doesn't know it has legs yet. So that's how he walks. He walks like a fucking giraffe with vertigo.
But we're working on it, and I'm sure eventually he'll be able to walk in them perfectly fine, but we will get there.
But yes, that does send me into a
that would
coma.
be the first thing that would send DJ into a coma.
The next thing would be trying to drive on an interstate highway at 5:30 on a Monday.
That sounds terrible. I don't like driving to begin with, so that sounds just awful. I don't want to do that.
Okay, next.
Okay, my next one. See, I'm going back into stories that I've thought of here. My next one is me not reaching through the phone when DJ decided to try to cut his hair and then got pissed off at me because I didn't reach through the phone to try to stop him from cutting his hair.
Okay, explanation. It wasn't like I was just broken up with him, was trying to give myself bangs. I have the nastiest cowlick ever, and the hair was sticking out, and I was annoyed at it, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it. But then I made it worse because I tried to grow it out, and now it doesn't stick out as much because it's grown out, but anyway.
But the best part was that he says to me, after this happened, he goes, well, why did you let me do that? And I said, did you not hear me yelling at you? DJ, don't do that. DJ, I really don't think you should do that. DJ, put the scissors down. DJ, I really don't think you should do that. And then he doesn't put the scissors down. He cuts the freaking hair. And then he goes,
why do you think I have this hat on?
And I was like, I can't stop you if you'll just do it. And he's like, well, you should have reached through the phone and done
She
it.
should
I was
have.
like,
It's 2023.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
Still can't reach through a camera.
If Grimes can name her child after a zip code, you can reach through the goddamn screen. Okay, another thing that I think would send Michaela. The random, toxic steam that comes up from the grates in the city.
Ew. No.
I have another one.
I'm trying to think of one more. Hold on. I know one. Something that would cause DJ to go into a coma is the way that I pronounce some of my words.
Showing, growing. It's like fucking Nigella Lawson. Okay, last thing. Taking the one train at any point in the day.
Oh. Is it a bad? No.
It's
Is it
interesting.
bad?
No, it's just there's a lot to see. It's like an episode of The Twilight Zone. Or
Okay.
this isn't New York specific, but driving on the New Jersey Turnpike. And that's it.
Okay, my final one, and I think this is something that for like a lot of people who live in places where you can get places really easily, would be trying to walk around anywhere other than downtown Vancouver.
Oh, God. Okay, well, we'll definitely have to make a list next time and we'll have to have like a common theme. But
I know. I feel like we just need to have a theme. We tried it. We
should do drag things that we think would send each other into a coma.
Nathaniel's trying to walk.
No, but like for each other specifically. If we're going with that, let's go with that.
I know, but I was just making a joke how that could have also been a drag thing.
It is. It's literally like a fucking flamingo. Like, just
Nathaniel, if
pasty
you're
white,
listening to this, we love you.
skinny ass chopstick legs. Like, also, can we talk about the heel color for a second?
Oh my god, they're tie-dye.
Okay, for those of you who have done acid and like been to a rave, it's that, but on a heel, and it's like throw up color palette. It's not like tie dye. It's like I don't know. I don't know what I was looking at. It was a blur. It was a fever dream.
But we love Nathaniel, and I am glad that they are making him happy. So that's what it takes to make him happy.
I'm glad we got him in a heel. I would have taken a chunk. And you know how I feel about chunks, and I would have taken a chunk.
DJ gets mad when I wear chunks, but in all honesty, they're super comfy, and Cynthia Kiss does it, so why can't I do it?
Because a chunk heel is like what I wear every day to work.
Just shows up to the lab and...
You want to see my work shoes? I have them up here.
Oh my god, yeah, I want to see them. Oh my god, you literally wear chunks. Why do you wear chunks to the lab?
Because they're cunty. And
for reference, everyone, DJ works in a lab, okay? This is key.
Because they have to be closed-toed, and they have to have a rubber sole, and it grips the floor so you don't slip if something spills.
So you wear heels?
They're boots. Also, Doc Martens have like this much, so it's like it's not far off.
I'm not going there. Okay.
These are my work shoes. Also, my Vans are kind of like disintegrating, and I just haven't gotten new ones, so.
I see. All right then. Well, that brings us to the end of that segment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest segment of Let Me Introduce You. Our guest this week is here to spice up your life, and that joke is so overdone. I'm so sorry. It's Pepper!
Yay!
Hello.
Oh my goodness. We are so excited to have you on the podcast, finally. I know our listeners are so excited to hear from you because we said during the finale episode of our podcast last season that we were for sure going to have Pepper on in season 2 because it just didn't work out schedule-wise for us to have her during season 1. So now we got you during season 2, and I can't be happier. I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you too. Thank you again for all your support for Call Me Mother. I gotta admit, you guys have been amazing with the whole cast, and it really warms my heart. It really does. Thank you guys.
Well, you guys have been amazing to us, too. Like we were saying, I'm sorry, DJ, I'm interrupting you.
Michaela.
In a second. I know, classic us. I was just going to say, you guys have been amazing, too. Like the fact that we even put it in a little video on our Instagram, which everybody can go check out if they want to. But
not the plug.
I made, not the plug, but I made a little video just like showing all the different people that we got to interview in season 1. And it was so cool, like us just being 2 drag sisters who love Call Me Mother, who just really wanted to be able to show everyone the amazing drag that you guys do, and getting that opportunity to be able to talk to every single one of you was amazing. Like we couldn't thank you guys enough. So.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Michaela said what I was gonna say, so.
Sorry, DJ. I interrupted you. My bad.
Because everyone knows I'm the better co-host. No, I'm kidding.
Rude. Oh my goodness. Well, let's get back into this interview because since we said we were so excited about this. So can you tell us how you got into doing drag? Like what is the background of Pepper?
Oh, for sure. Well, as you know, I'm like the oldest in the cast. So I started doing drag like before Drag Race, before the internet, before all of that. I went to a bar and I saw queens performing, and I've been in dance and theater like all my life. So it just felt like a natural progression. I honestly like growing up as a male dancer and being effeminate. I always got told I couldn't be feminine. Like I always had to be the manly one. And I was like, I want to curtsy. I want to flip my hair. And when I discovered drag, I was like, oh, snap. Like, snap. So I knew it was for me.
We live.
Totally.
Okay, so you have this drag persona that is the foundation. What made you audition for Call Me Mother?
Good question. In all honesty, like when I originally had auditioned for Drag Race, and sadly I didn't get a call or anything, and it was really heartbreaking. It really was, because
Y'all hear that? Get
right?
her on.
Yeah.
Period.
Like, I understand they can only have so many and such, and I appreciate that. But I just had been working so hard, and I'm really, really passionate about this art form, and I want it to be my career. Well, now it is my career, but I wanted it to be my career. And when Call Me Mother, after seeing the first season, they said we're doing like a second season. We would love auditions, and I was like, you know what? What else am I doing? Like, sure. So I sent it in. I had my interview with Robin, which went really, really, really well. And then I actually didn't hear from them for like a good chunk of time because we were doing all the like picking people and stuff, and then shopping with my husband in the grocery store. I got the call and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love, like, just in the middle of like the grocery store being like, hello. Yeah, everyone, I'm on Call Me Mother. Hello.
Like literally.
Get with it.
Yeah, I literally started like bouncing around and like losing my shit, and like Derek was just standing there like staring at me, and there was this like little old couple just looking at me, and I'm like, sorry everyone, just a little bit of excitement.
I'm just losing my mind. Don't worry. I'm fine.
Right? No big whoop. No big whoop.
Totally. All right. So obviously, like you said, you get the call that you're going to be on the show, and you get there. The first thing that happens is you guys get out of those cars and you do your little introductions and everything like that. What was your first impression finally stepping onto that set?
Oh, it honestly, it's like a tornado of emotion. You're like super excited. You're sizing up your competition. Obviously a little nervous, not knowing really what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So you can't really put a finger on it. It's literally just you bounce back and forth from emotion to emotion as everything is happening. We actually, like, we all came in on different dates. So I was there. Oh, I lost my thingy. I was there 3 days before we started filming. So I was just in my room doing nothing. And like just sitting there like, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. So when we finally actually saw one another and stepped out of our cubbies, that was a moment of pure excitement and pure, like, adrenaline and everything. And then the nerves and like everything else kicked in. But
everything else caught up.
Yes, totally. But that one moment, I remember Jessie was my cubby partner. I'm sure the other cast has talked about the cubbies. Right,
yes.
Like they keep us in like holding cells per se.
Not
Jessie
the holding
was
cell.
I know, right? Jessie was my cubby partner, so he was right beside me. And before I met him, I heard him talking to one of the Care Bears, and I heard his accent, and I was like, ooh. I was like, I want to know that person. And then
it's like a blind date, like
right?
Move the curtain, yeah.
Yeah.
Remove the curtain. Move it out of the way, please. I want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the moment we saw each other, we were like instant friends. It was really, really nice. Yeah, I had I had Jesse on one side, I had Ciance behind me, and Champagne on the other. So we all kind of heard each other before we saw each other, and then when we saw each other, everyone was just excited and smiling. It was really fun.
I love. So you mentioned becoming really good friends with Jessie, and that's kind of a good segue into my next question. So was there anyone that you grew like really close with that maybe you didn't expect to, or did you expect to grow close with some people?
Honestly, like, being in a cast like this, only we know this experience. Like, we're all experiencing it together, so that was an instant bond. But I became really, really close to Jessie and Maya. I don't know what it was. You know, when you meet people and you click. Like, that's the only way I can explain it. We all instantly clicked, and you'll see in the first episode how they had all the tables set up. Maya literally grabbed me and Jessie. We just stormed to a table, took it over.
This is our kingdom.
Yes.
She said, we are going here and this is what's happening. The end.
Yes, totally. Maya literally like took charge because I was like a deer in headlights. I didn't know what was happening, and Maya was like, "Here, now, sit." And so everyone is like sitting around, kikiing, and Story is like prompting us to talk about stuff. But really, we just started chatting and getting to know each other and having like a fabulous time. We were like the Three Musketeers on set. It was really lovely. Honestly, when Maya
Three
left,
Musketeers, if you will.
yes.
Period.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking when Maya left. It hit me hard. Like, when people started going home in the beginning, I gotta admit all of us were gutted. Like, absolutely gutted. And then it was around halfway point that we realized, you know, we're gonna see these people again in a month. They're not dead.
Right.
This isn't the other
Honestly,
TV show.
Well, I was about to say, honestly, I felt like the same way. Like, when people would get eliminated from the show, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sad. And then I'm like, wait, I'm literally texting with them like 2 minutes later. Like, why am I so sad? Like, when Maya went home, I cried. And then I texted her and I was like,
there were tears.
Yeah, you can attest. There were tears. And then I literally texted her, and I was actually texting her while I was watching the episode because she texted me about something. I don't even remember what she was texting me about, but we were texting. And I texted her, I was like texting her. And then when she went home, I texted her, I was like, you knew I was watching the episode, didn't you? And she was like, maybe. And I was like, Maya! I was so mad. I was losing it. And then she was like, well, at least I get to talk to you, though. I was like, yeah, well, that's a good thing. But also, you suck, so thanks.
But also, I'm crying. Thanks for the heads up.
As I'm, like, bawling my eyes out. Like, geez.
I know. We were all ridiculous. Like, we were all ridiculous until, like, I don't know how the switch flipped, but then I realized I'm literally going to talk to these people in a couple of weeks. I could just calm down a smidge.
Whew, a little bit, just breathe.
Right?
Oh my gosh, I love that. So obviously you get picked by one of the mothers, and we want to know, was House of Harmony your first choice? If not, what was? Or would you have, like, if House of Harmony wasn't a choice at the time, I'm giving you two questions, kind of. If House of Harmony wasn't a choice, who would you have picked and why?
Honestly, I went into the competition wanting to be in House Glass. That was my goal. I've been a huge fan of Crystal for the longest time. Like, the longest time. I've followed them. I really love their aesthetic. I love how they've branded themselves, and I wanted to get a taste of that knowledge and that mentorship. But then when I was on stage and doing my talent number, it's true, in the diary confession during that episode, when I said I made eye contact with Barbada and I just felt something, that's the God honest truth. She had this twinkle in her eye when she looked at me, and I was like, that's a connection right there. So I was so blessed that she chose me. Like, we don't really know these people until you start to talk to them and get to know them. And me and Barbada really had a beautiful chemistry. Like, honestly, all the mothers, I was so impressed with the mentorship that they provided us. Like, all of them were in it to win it. They were with us every step of the way, helping us out, doing whatever they could to elevate us. So any house I would have been happy with. But as soon as I saw that twinkle in Barbados' eyes, I knew where I belonged. I did.
Period. So, Call Me Mother has had a lot of famous, cute, gorgeous, stunning runways. What was your favorite outfit that you wore on Call Me Mother?
It would have to be the Bridgerton outfit, the Me and My Show, that gown.
You looked absolutely stunning.
Literally
I think
stunning.
I texted
You
you
came out
and
and
said you were
Michaela and
so
I-
stunning. I was losing it.
Literally,
Yeah.
we were like, we gasped. It was so good.
Lost it.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, usually my style is kind of all over. Like, it's usually colorful and cartoony and stuff. So it really felt amazing to be on that stage and just feel beautiful and elegant and just feeling that royal everything. It was a definite moment. I actually made, like, I would say 90% of what I wore. It was either upscaled, embellished, made, or whatever by myself. So here's a little bit of advice for queens who are about, like, going to audition for shows. The code word is book tour. So I went to local designers to ask for help, but queens are busy. Like, queens have stuff to do, and I totally get that. So I asked a friend, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so busy right now," and I didn't want to pressure, right? So I was like, okay, it's fine. Went to someone else. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like crazy busy right now." And I was like, okay, no problem. And like, I realized that if I had said something to the vernacular that this could possibly be like get great exposure, right? I probably could have gotten more help. Like, I know my friends would have helped me if I was just so nervous about the NDA. I've never signed an NDA before. I was like,
They're scary.
I'm like, right? I was like, is my phone tapped? Is like, what? Can I talk to people about this? And
Meanwhile,
I'm sure,
Michaela Couture,
right? Jesse, like that friggin' the catfish dress. I was like, bitch, like, bitch, what the fuck is this? Right? Oh my god. But
I was talking about the NDA, but...
Oh yeah. Oh Maya, yeah. Right? I was just so nervous to tell anyone because gossip in a community flies like wildfire. Yes, like absolute wildfire. But I wish I had gotten more help. I am very proud of what I brought to the stage, and everything turned out beautifully, and I was very happy with it. But I would have liked to have had a couple of more custom pieces up on that runway per se. Like, honestly, here's a great story. So, you know Phoenix Black's first outfit, the gold?
Yes.
Bitch, wasn't that thing friggin' amazing?
Yes.
Totally.
Seeing it live, insanely breathtaking. So you remember my outfit? Well,
we tried to be really nice.
I love my outfit. Do you remember when all the urban planets, I don't know if they have them in the States, DJ, but Michaela, do you remember when like all the urban things went out of business and everything was like insanely on sale? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm in an urban planet and I see that pattern, that black and floral pattern, and I'm like, this is friggin' bomb, bodeggity. I bought like 20 of the outfits, cut them all up, made them into that outfit that I was wearing, and I was very proud of it. I loved it, right? So I go to Phoenix because we're standing side by side, and I'm like, Phoenix, girl, this outfit is amazing. Where the hell did you find it? And she's like, oh, it's from Milan. And I'm like, oh, like, amazing. And then she looks at me and she's like, where's your outfit from? And I'm like, Urban Planet. She's like, oh, that's nice, honey. It's cute. Good luck. Have fun out there. And I'm just like, right? But bitch, I got in the house.
It's kind of hard when you're standing next to a parade float. Like,
right?
Literally, though, I remember saying, I think I said in the podcast, I was like, she looks great, but like putting her beside everybody else, you know, there's a difference here.
A huge difference. I gotta admit, that was like seeing the first runway was so impressive. I was like, these people have brought it. Like, this is a competition. Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say there is some merit to all the performers out there that can construct and craft a garment like
100%.
with their bare hands, like cutting up pieces of fabric. That's not easy because that's already pre-cut and pre-sewn. Like, I have so much respect for everyone that can do that, and costumers and like performers who sew. Like, it's incredible. Like,
yes, I agree. Like, drag, if I do have a platform and if there are people listening, I want to tell those who want to try drag and get into drag that drag is whatever you create it to be. It doesn't have to be custom. You do not need to spend thousands of dollars for a night out. Like when RuPaul said, "I don't want to see no H&M on my runway," now it's
RuPaul, I don't want to see sweatpants under the desk, bitch.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Like, I agree. I don't want to see H&M on that runway. What I want to see is something elevated. So take that H&M dress and make it unique, make it your own, and make it drag.
Exactly. No, and that's exactly it. Like, if you can take something, I mean, like you were saying, if you took like 20 of those dresses and just like made something out of it, not my phone ringing. What the heck?
I love the office phone.
Watch, it's going to be my mom too.
Right.
Watch, it'll be my
Tell
mom
her
too.
I'm not here either. She keeps bugging me. Let me tell you.
It is my mom. It is my mom.
Girl, can you mute that? Like,
just let it ring for a second here.
Pick it up and be like, "Hey, we're going through a bad patch. We're breaking up.
Well, she's gonna
Sorry."
call me next on my cell phone too, so now I gotta text her and be like, "In podcast interview."
I'm not dying.
Right? Mom will be around. We'll get to you. We'll get to you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyways, what I was saying is, like, you were saying you took like 20 of those dresses and like made it into something different. That's what it is to elevate something. Yeah, like, no offense to Joe Black, we love you and you're wonderful and everything, but it was a dress that had come from a rack. Like, that's why the joke was there, right? Because
exactly.
It was from the rack onto the body, whereas you were saying you took 20 of those and made it into something completely different. So it's one of those, like, you can take things that aren't super expensive and make them look more party ready, I guess is the way to explain it.
Amen. Drag, for me, I've always seen drag as a hyper reality. It can be whatever you want it to be, but it just needs to be bigger than life. It needs to be a moment.
Totally.
Period. Wait, am I doing the next question? Oh, shit.
I was about to say, is it your question or my question? No, you said the Dave
really
question. It's my question. It's my question.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm bad at this question. I'm bad at it too anyways, don't worry. Yeah, so it was kind of funny you were saying, like, that if you could go back, you would, like, ask for more help and stuff like that. Because our next question was going to be, if you could go back and change anything in the competition, what would you change and why? So,
or would you change anything?
Or would you change anything?
Like, I want to say no, but obviously, yeah, I would change a lot. Like, I definitely would have asked for more help, so I had some more elevated looks. I think, like, it's sad that we can't go back and change anything. It is what it is, and I'm proud of what I did. But I wish I had, like, twisted a few of the challenges and such. It's like minor things, like when I did the Pepper 2.0, I wish I did something on the other side of the thing, like they commented, because I did come up with something, obviously, after when I'm watching the episode, and I'm like, you know what, I should have done that. But overall, I am really, really proud of what happened and what I did and what I presented. So besides, like, nitpicky, tiny little things, no, I'll say I'd ride that wave. Yeah, I'm good with it.
In your defense, the marketing challenge brief was so vague.
Oh my gosh, like, so vague.
You don't even know. So the way it worked on set, we would be in the mothership. Dallas would come out and do his spiel. And then the cameras would cut, the producers would come out and explain like rules and things and that. So for that particular challenge, the producers, don't get me wrong, I love them to bits and they took very good care of us. But I was like, what the hell are you talking about? They like seriously, they were like, okay, this is your chance to pitch why you should be in the finale. You could do whatever you want. You could lip sync, you could do a number, you could do whatever. And I was like, so the talent episode, like the,
yeah, right.
We saw how that turned out for 3 of us.
I was about to say, I remember DJ and I watching the episode and just going, okay, so some of them are selling things, and then some of them are selling like why they should be there. Like we were so confused. I remember
Justin was
doing the
himself.
recap of the episode and just being like, what the heck is happening here?
Right? It was honestly, it was the vaguest description that we got throughout the thing, and that was the episode that I was like, what the hell do I do? Because I like, obviously when you get to a certain point, you see the goal a little clearer. Like you see that finish line a little clearer and you start thinking about what am I going to do when I get there? And I was like, you're not taking away my finale speech on this episode. You know what I mean? Like,
the band will not start playing until I am finished.
Amen. So I had to come up with something, and with everyone, I could see, like, we could hear each other around the room and stuff. And I knew everyone was going, like, infomercial kind of way. So that's why I was like, I think I'm going to try to flip it on its head. And I was just happy that they laughed. And they got it.
I loved it. I thought it was really cool, like, especially because it was about saying, like, what has happened that would make you, like, a good finalist. And you were literally saying, like, I started as Pepper, and now I'm Pepper 2.0. This is why I should be there. But
Final form.
It was made in a sense that people would understand, too, so...
Good. I'm so glad it came across. Like, because when you're in this situation, honestly, you have no idea what's happening. It is such a pressure cooker, mind melts situation. I didn't even know what day it was. Like, I was like, I don't know where I am. What's happening?
Who am I again?
Right?
What's my name? What am I wearing? Like, where am I?
Literally.
Okay. So on the topic of changing things, that's a terrible way to put it. Okay, I'm gonna phrase this like 2 ways. If you could make, like, my brain stuttered for a second, excuse me. So, if you could make a different...
Okay.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay, go ahead. I talk with my hands too much.
Yeah, no, I feel... If you could if you could change something about the top 4, whether it be completely new or just take out a couple people, would you?
No, it's a good question. Like, getting to know everyone, I saw everyone as competition. Like, usually you can size stuff up, and I really had no idea. Like, how I was like, it really comes down to how the judges feel, like, or what connects to the judges, because I felt everyone was bringing A game, like absolute A game. When we first painted and got ready together, there was a few like standouts in my mind per se, like Amara, who I insanely love. Yeah, oh my God, Amara is pure love and sarcasm and the driest sense of humor, and it's all I need in life. But seeing that mug, I was like, okay. Okay. So I did kind of expect, or I thought that Amara was gonna be like in that top. But out of like the 4 of us, I really felt that we had earned it. I really did. It did feel justified that we were standing there together.
Yeah, it was definitely a battle of immense talent, and it was so just like great to watch and like see everyone like really showcase everything, especially the finalists. But it was I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally agree with what you were saying, that I felt like, I mean, I think I said it to DJ when we were watching the episode when we found out who were the finalists. I remember saying to DJ, I was like, these 4 deserve to be here. Like, they have shown that they deserve to be here. There was nobody in the final 4 that I was like, okay, like, this is just one that's just like pushing. Like, they're just pushing there. Like, you all deserve to be there. You
Unlike other franchises.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and I think also
you.
and I also think with the group in general, and I think we've said this to a few people, that we felt that this was a group of individuals who were so talented that there was a chance that any of them could have been in the final at the end. Because just from the beginning, it was just always like, we never knew who was going, what was happening, or anything like that. And that's what kept it interesting the entire season, was like us being surprised by who was going, because we didn't know who was going to go. Right?
Same on set. Exact same thing on set. Every time we got to that point, I really had no idea. All I could do was focus on myself and just be like, please let it not be me. Like, please just keep me here one more week. Like, just one more week. And that's the only way that I could survive it. I literally just focused on challenge per challenge. Like, I didn't try to think ahead, because I was like, if I try to think ahead and I do end up going home, I'm just going to be disappointed. So I'm like, just put everything you have into this, and we'll deal with the next episode when it rolls out.
That's a fair way to look at it, for sure. I mean, I think that's the way a lot of people should look at it, is you focus on yourself. It's great that you're there and you get to make these connections and stuff like that, but like, ultimately it is a competition. You are there to make sure that you are the person who gets to the final, who is inevitably there, right? And so you saying like, yeah, I wanted to make connections, but also I was focusing on myself and making sure that I was good and like all that stuff too. It makes complete sense. So
yeah, it's a fine balance. Because I'm a mama bear at heart, and being like one of the older ones, you just want to make sure everyone's doing okay, because it's a very high stress situation. But I got great advice from a queen in Calgary here who's phenomenal, Lilith Fair. I highly recommend following them. They're amazing. But they told me, because I was going to do Alberta's Next Drag Superstar or something here, and we were talking about it. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to save that for the next round. And she was like, bitch, what if you don't make the next round? She's like, put it all on the stage every time, because you don't know, like, if there is
what's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So it's not a matter of like, especially in that kind of high pressure situation, every single time you bring it 100% and more. And then next week, if you survive, you bring it again and harder, right? There's no, let's save that for, no.
Totally. That actually segues really well into this question. So, as you know, we are both drag artists in our respective areas, and we just want to know, what advice do you have for either baby drag artists or people who are interested in starting drag?
Oh, I love this question. I have a few. So grab a pen and paper.
Get your notes. Get your ink.
Get your notes. Jot it down, y'all.
So aesthetic wise, I say for those people who are wanting to explore this, a great way is to find things that you're drawn to. Create vision boards. Look at references. Look at references that you wouldn't expect. Look at different decades, different eras, different things like that. And you never know what you'll be drawn to. Drag is your own imagination brought into fruition. So don't think you have to be a RuPaul, a Trinity Tuck, an Evie Oddly. You're you. So focus on that. Don't recreate, create yourself. Second of all, stillness. Stillness is a power on stage. I find a lot of baby queens, because I've judged some competitions, they feel like they need to be moving through the entire number. Like, they got to be over here. I'm over there. I'm walking over here. I'm shaking this. I'm over here. Right? Yes. The power of stopping, giving the audience something to sink into, and then you start moving again. And that's what blows their mind. You have to have peaks and valleys when you perform. Up and down, up and down.
Roller coaster acting.
Yes, child, right? It doesn't have to be like death drops and splits 24/7. Take a moment and give them mug, give them life.
Yes.
And that's the other thing. You don't have to be doing tricks to be doing drag. Don't get me wrong. I love watching a girl drop. I love seeing some wigs friggin' spin. I do. But everyone is an individual and everyone doesn't like, I'm old, child. Like these knees, I can't get them at Walmart no more, right? They don't sell them no more. These are the only ones I got. So I ain't gonna be dropping. Cause bitch, I need these knees tomorrow.
If
Amen.
I drop, I may not get back up.
I'm gonna be down for a bit.
Yes.
I'm gonna be down for a bit.
Crawl,
It's a problem.
crawl. Y'all are getting a crawling performance.
Amen. So do play to your strengths. If you're funny, be funny. If you're gorgeous, be gorgeous. Play to your strengths. You don't have to be doing what everyone else is doing. You need to be doing what you do well. Yeah. Right?
I love it.
Yes.
I love that.
Me who
Thank
cannot do a
you.
split is over here like,
I was about
thank
to say, me
you.
who can't do a split either. I can't do a split either, so
Right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like just because now that drag is in the media influence and most people's impression of drag is what they see on TV, they think that that's all that drag is or that's all that they can be. But the beauty of this art form is expression. So it can be whatever you create it to be. And also it's ageless. Like I literally, for a birthday gift, I think it was his 50th? I want to say 50th or 60th, but fabulous man. And he's always wanted to do drag. So we created, we painted him up and we made a video to La Jazz Hot. And you could see he was absolutely living his life. And I guarantee you,
so
he'll probably be on the
cute.
stage one of these days soon, right? Because
Putting my grandfather in drag tomorrow.
Oh my God, do it! Do it! Right? There is no age limit. Beauty is a thing of endless possibilities. So, child, you could be whatever age, and if you want to throw on some lip gloss, throw on that lip gloss. Mm-hmm.
Period.
That is the best, like, advice thing we've gotten, like, so far.
I was gonna say, like, don't get me wrong. I've loved hearing all the advice from everybody else, but like that was like a good way. Like you just like summed it up in a circle. Like you went in a full circle. We got full information.
I'm so glad. Yeah, that's one great thing about being old, honey. Let me tell you.
Not old, just seasoned. Like a good,
Seasoned,
like,
right?
cutting
Sprinkle
board.
it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sprinkle it.
I think that unfortunately brings us to the end of this episode. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on here. Like, thank you so much for coming back. Like, the Call Me Mother cast has been so incredibly kind to us, and we really would not like have a podcast or like anything to pursue if we didn't have that great foundation for season 1. So thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. And yes, if you see any of this cast on the bill, that's the ticket, honey. You only got a taste throughout this show. What these people can do on stage, child, they be serving you life. So if you ever get a chance to see any of us on stage, child, you buy that ticket. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Speaking of that, we're just going to give you a moment to tell everybody where they can find you so that they can figure out where you are and come see you perform. So where can they find you on the socials?
So my Instagram is thepepper.1. I obviously Pepper was taken. So yeah, thepepper.1 on
The fact
Facebook.
that there's another Pepper out there and it's like, I can't have my account.
Right? Like
I live.
Sure. Driving me nuts. On Facebook, I am the Pepper. Like, you know how Facebook you have to have a last name? My husband was like the brilliant one. I was like, I don't want a last name. And he was like, just cut up your name. Pepper. Yeah. So that's how you can find me. I am on TikTok, although I'm old. You kids with the tics and the talks and the stuff like that, I try. But I'm thepepper.1 on there as well. So you can find me there. I'm also part of Lavender Management. So you can reach out to Lavender if you want to book me in your city, which I would love to come to. Speaking of, I will be in Newfoundland. So if anyone from Newfoundland is listening to this podcast, I'm going to be there for Black History Month between the 3rd and the 6th. And we're going to rock it. It's going to be so much fun. But besides that, just check my socials and you'll see where I'm at. And hopefully I'll be on another TV screen near you soon. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. All right. Like we said before, we just want to thank you so much for coming and interviewing on the podcast. And we hope that everything that you do in the future is successful and makes you happy.
I think that brings us to the end. We had so much inspirational content in this episode. So definitely stick around for more of that. We upload these every single week. And yeah, I hope you all have a amazing rest of your day.
DJ?
And Michaela, if it's about the socials, you can do it.
Well, I always have to interrupt you. That's how it works, you know, because you always forget. So I just have to make sure that you remember.
You always
that
forget.
I have to
Whatever.
do those.
Whatever.
Anyways, I'll get on with it. So our Instagram is We're So Not Straight Pod. Our Twitter is Not Straight Pod. Our YouTube channel, which is where you are right now. So if you don't know where you are, that's a little weird.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't know you're on
know,
YouTube, contact your nearest grandchild and ask them to explain the internet to you.
Exactly. But if you didn't know where you are right now, you are on We Are So Not Straight podcast, and that's where you can find all of our interviews from season 1, as well as our interviews from season 2. There are some great interviews in there. You definitely want to hear them. We've talked to people about their families. We've talked to people about drag. We've talked to people about gaming and that kind of stuff. So definitely go check those out. They are super cool to listen to. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or suggestions, you can email us at wearesonotstraight@gmail.com. Also, I was just going to say, if you have any customer service representative,
email them to us. We'll read them.
Email them to us. We'll read them on camera. So please email them to us. We would love to get them. So please do that. All this information will be in the description below. All right, DJ, you can finish the outro.
All right. Well, as I was saying before, I hope you all have a fantabulous rest of your day. And I love you so much. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.